YouTube? We back. Oh. Yo, what's good, YouTube? We back with another video. Today we finna be looking at how to become a millionaire from streaming by Agent 000, man. If y'all boys haven't already, man, make sure y'all boys like, subscribe, and hit that post notification, man. We live on Twitch every single day, so come check it out, man. And yeah, let's get right to the video. Let's see how to become a millionaire.
Alright, we're about to get started. Hope you guys learned something today. So, do we have any new streamers here today? Okay, good. Do we have any seasoned experienced streamers here today?
Okay.
Nice. All right, so I'm going to talk a lot about money. And so usually what I do, last year what I did, and what I kind of did in the last class as well, is talk a little bit about ad revenue, brand deals, things of that nature. And those are all relevant, all important, but those are all short term.
Right.
You know, you do a brand deal today, you know, this is your brand deal for today.
Right.
You know, you might get another one if you build relationships, but beyond that, we're going to talk a lot about what your future as a content creator looks like. Does anybody in the room right now own a business?
For like a year and it's gone, bro. Like,
what's your business?
and they might not even give you that chance.
Production company? Okay. A clothing brand. Yusuf? Okay, doesn't know.
I'm starting a brand.
Starting a brand.
Everybody has their own
What's that, fucker?
business.
What's up, man?
Like if you streaming, bro, you basically got your own business.
Sorry, you might know. Keep in mind. Did everybody have a lunch happening right now?
Yeah. We do an hour, they have an hour after. Yeah, you go. All right.
Oh yeah, in ad revenue.
Surprise,
chat,
all you guys
bro,
have a business.
You get one
Streaming is
cent
100%
from
a
ads,
business.
chat.
And the sooner you treat it like one, the better you'll be able to take advantage of its opportunities. I know business kind of has some connotation like it's all about making money, but it's not. Sometimes it could be about impacting people. There's plenty of non-profit businesses, their goal is not to make money, right? Your business goal objective can be either to what? Entertain, inform. Entertain, inform. If you're streaming, you're either entertaining or you're informing. So today, this is the informing. I don't do this part too often, but I'm gonna walk you through what it's like to grow a business. We're gonna talk a little bit about, I'm gonna pocket watch somebody else's business. Then we're gonna get into tone. We'll talk a little bit about A&P. I'm gonna give you a prospective business that I'm probably gonna start in the next year. And then while I'm doing that, I really want you to think about what you may be interested in. And what the common answers might be is like a brand, maybe some clothing, but think outside the box. It could be whatever your interests are. And just to kind of get the ball rolling, I love racing. For me, racing is
What do I love? I love gaming. I'm making a game
super
right
fun.
now, chat.
I just learned that this is a passion of mine for the past.
If y'all boys watch The Boys, like if y'all boys know The Boys show with Homelander, Billy Butcher, the whole 7, bro. We making a game, bro. It's 2D, man. Like y'all boys, man.
2 years. And so as I'm getting more into it, I was trying to think about ways to monetize that. So I love energy drinks. I drink 12 a day if I need to. And so my
if y'all boys don't know, bro. This is my last time positive video, but if y'all boys don't know, bro.
brain thinks, well, 12 is an exaggeration. I saw your eyes. My brain thinks if I love energy drinks, maybe there's a way I could build a business around the thing that I like. Find something you really like. Keep it in your mind. It could be a couple things. It could be running. Maybe you love endurance running. It could be editing. Maybe you're a huge editor. Maybe strategically, you love thinking of the business strategy side of things. Whatever it is, just keep it in the back of your mind, because as I talk through some of these concepts, I want you to try and relate it to how it's going to apply to you.
I built this website in 5 minutes with Wix Harmony. So I came across this image recently and thought to myself, what if I built an entire...
Oh, the wrong slide. Sorry. Yeah, that was a different talk. I would like to start by saying you don't own nothing. You don't own YouTube. You don't own Twitch. You don't own Instagram. You don't own TikTok. Who here has been a victim of being banned on a platform you don't know why?
Me.
Right? And I want to illustrate to the people that this hasn't happened to yet, sometimes it can be really scary, because if it's your job, it kind of feels like your livelihood was just stolen. And I've had this moment a long time ago, and it scared me straight. Sometimes this is something you just had to, you know, put your hand on the stove and learn the hard way. But I'm hoping you just heed to advice and you learn some of these lessons before this happens. In 2020, January, they changed the rules on YouTube, okay? They didn't want people advertising to kids no more. And people were finding workarounds to do it, you know, toothpaste companies, stuff like that. This is the analytic I just took from a YouTube video of a family channel this year. They got 2 million views in the year. They only made $959. This same channel pre-2020 is making almost $100,000 on the same views. All it took was a simple policy change. YouTube didn't like that type of content no more. They didn't want people to advertise that type of content. YouTube Kids exist. They rerouted it. So what I'm trying to say is they didn't own YouTube. They don't own this platform. Therefore, they were vulnerable and something changed and it rocked their livelihoods. If this was their job, they are now putting fries in the bag. And what the reality is, the streaming stuff is not forever. Like if you think about your favorite streamers, they come and go. Sometimes they last a year. Sometimes they last 5 years, 10 years. You have to be realistic. Just because you're doing well now doesn't mean next year's gonna be better. Right. You could be giving belt. You could be doing all the right things, but it doesn't mean it's gonna work out for you, right? There's a lot of people that didn't make it to Stream University. It's not because they didn't deserve it. So there's a lot that's not in your control. Today we're gonna talk about some of the long-term things that are all in your control, and I'm hoping that it's gonna be a little bit helpful to you guys.
Maybe I should.
No, as I'm talking, you might be asking the big question, hopefully. Maybe I should own something, right? You don't own your channels. Maybe I should own something, and that's precisely why we started A&P in 2019. We had a down year. All of A&P pretty much played NBA 2K. There was a really bad down year, and it looked like, damn, money's down. We're like, yo, it don't matter. Look, question. Let's say, what's like a type of content you like to watch?
IRL.
IRL. Okay, that's a bad example. Anybody like watching niche example? Yusuf.
She said IRL.
Okay,
IRL,
let's say you like making noodle videos. And then for some reason, there's horrible PR for noodles. People don't fuck with noodles no more. Okay? You're cooked. You could be the most entertaining personality, but you're cooked. This happens a lot to gamers that's attached to a game that people lose interest in. But IRL is a little different because it's kind of no man's land. Honestly, it's a lot harder to go IRL because you're not attached to anything people actually care about. So I'm going to say something. Hopefully it doesn't sound too pseudo, right? What made you guys excited to come to Stream University?
I wanted to learn and better my skills as a creator. I wanted to expand and become the greatest I can ever be.
Okay. Right here?
The exposure. Because I've always been consistent.
Exposure.
I just kind of started, so the exposure really.
Yugi?
More recognition and new eyes that are brought onto the stream.
Okay. Okay, good answers. These are all good answers.
I just want to come to your class.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Learning how to be uncomfortable.
Learning how to be uncomfortable, challenging yourself. Okay, good. These are all good answers, okay? Streamer University, an example, when we have conversations and we're talking strategy and creative, there's high appeal ideas and there's low appeal ideas, right? You could be the most entertaining person, but no one's gonna stick with a low appeal idea. The idea just has to be something that's really packaged well. Stream University is this, like, the thought of learning being content is crazy on the internet. Like, as entertaining content, but everybody's excited to be here. Stream University is an example of a very high appeal idea. I don't want to get too pseudo, but just keep that in mind, right? There's a lot that's not within your control. There is a lot that's within your control. You control what you can, and you ignore the rest. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a case example. So there's a YouTube channel. This is Ryan Trahan's channel. I put up his stats, okay? In the last month, he got 35 million long form views. He got 44 million short form views. And you can look at the subscribers over there as well. He's cooking, right? This is actually a down month for him, I'll be honest. And if you take a look at those stats, he's making approximately $345,000 a long form, okay? I'm probably off by like 20,000 here or there, but he's making a good amount based on the length of his videos and the ads that he runs, which is very healthy. He's one of the biggest YouTubers. He's making about $50,000 on short form. It's not the money he's making on short form. It's kind of like the views and the attention he's getting on short form that's also being funneled into his long form. When you're a streamer, think about the content you make. Like, people have to see you. You know what I'm saying? People seeing you is currency. Just because you haven't made $1 from a clip doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. You feel me? Because if people see your face enough times, next time they're introduced to you, you have a little bit more influence over their decisions. And the decision could be something as simple as showing up to your stream. You know what I'm saying? When you have a brand deal, it could be as simple as supporting the brand. When you have an event, it could be as simple as buying tickets. The more people see your face, the more likable you are, the more people you're doing things that provide value, the better received it will be. Let's keep going money-wise. You know, you total both of those. He made approximately $400,000 a month. Who here thinks that's bad money? It's phenomenal money. This actually is where a lot of people stop. They made the good money, and they don't see anything past that because they don't actually have a long-term vision. This is short-term. This is the money he made this month. Money's higher one month, money's lower next month. Views are higher one month, views are lower next month. If you're always playing day to day, you won't make a singular decision for the future. You get what I'm saying? That's a pretty penny, bro. $5 million a year. I think he has a team of like 3 people. His ideas don't cost a ton of money if you guys watch his channel. So like he's probably profiting a good amount. But let's think about long term. So I'm gonna give a handful of examples just because in your head you might be thinking, oh, I can't do that because I'm not a rich YouTuber. He started a candy company called Joyride. He got in Target, and now he's in a bunch of other retailers. And for him, as much as he enjoys making content, you can feel that passion in his videos. He saw a future where he thought he could make a ton of money doing something that he really cared about and doing it in a way where he's using his audience to promote this business. So he's in 5 different retailers: Target, Kroger. This kind of sounds like an ad for him, but it's not. This is just, you have to understand the context. The more retailers in your reach, especially as a candy business, is exponentially higher. So I did some quick math. Approximately, a candy business of his stature is making around $50 million in annual revenue. Okay, this is a business that's about 2 years old. You know, and businesses, they grow exponentially. Like if you grow them properly, they grow exponentially. Now he doesn't put $50 million in his pocket because he has 20 to 40% margins. Let's say he's on the lower end, because maybe the Skittles and some of the big candy companies are on the higher end of margins because they have so much scale. Let's say he has just 20%. He made $10 million of profit in the last year from his business. 10 million, that's double all the money he made on his YouTube channel. But even that, to me, is a little too short term. That's money he's making this year. It's not that it's not great money. It's not that it won't time, but that's just money he's making this year.
Right.
And so you can see here, this is just the profit. So I'm putting them side by side so you can get a sense of what people think he's making his money off of and what he's most realistically making his money off of. And this is not just a Ryan Trahan thing. You could apply it to plenty of content creators nowadays. Like, you know, the KSI Logan Paul's got the Prime. You know, I think Jake Paul has a business. Everybody got business. Yusuf, what's up?
As a professor, since you're on firms, how much do you make a year?
You're gonna have to pocket watch me, my boy. Good try, champ. You can't sell content, but you can sell businesses. I mean, you could sell a stream. Maybe you get a brand deal, right? But you could sell a business, dude. And I'm gonna share knowledge. All the business people watching this is gonna seem like common knowledge that everybody understands. But people that's not in the business world truly do not understand the scale of opportunity. And those people would die to be in a position where they have an audience that fucks with them the way your audience fucks with you. These brands have to try and convince people to buy their product. That's facts. You're not selling nobody anything. You're just being yourself. People already like you. So as long as the thing you're making, your service you're creating, the product you have is something you truly believe in, then you will have no problem translating that energy, and your fans will have no problem supporting that. Because I'm telling you this one thing, when people really like you, they show it. They support it. So you don't want to just get eyeballs. You want to get eyeballs from people that actually with you, because that looks very different. Not just financially, but just experience. Like, you live a life, bro. You meet these people in real life. You don't want to meet people and have negative interactions. You want to walk around and have positive interactions. And so let's get into a little bit about selling businesses, which doesn't sound like a Stream University thing. But again, I want to remind you, all you guys are running businesses, bro. Every single one of you. And this is not a metaphor. You literally are running a business. You literally have to pay that tax. So I hope you're doing that.
Yo!
Okay, good. All right. Now let's get into, I don't know who that is. Let's get into the average candy sales for a business. So we established that he's approximately making $50 million gross, which means over the course of a year, he's making $50 million in that business, revenue-wise, right? So usually when you sell a business, there's a multiple. So if I'm selling Ryan Trahan's business that makes $50 million a year, it's worth 5 times that amount on average. You can negotiate that, which is $250 million. This is the number you usually see when you look at a Forbes list and they say someone's a billionaire. It's the net worth. So it's the stuff that they own, but it technically isn't worth anything until you sell it. So his business makes $50 million a year, which is already amazing, but look how much it's worth. That's $250 million. Now, realistically, he doesn't own the whole thing. He owns a big portion of it, probably a controlling share, so he can make all the decisions. So there's no suit. I mean, we've probably heard some horror stories of people that let in suits and then they took over the business and they ruined it by trying to milk it for profits. You want to try and maintain control. That's one thing we genuinely believe in at AMP. You give that away and you lost your creativity, you lost your sauce as a content creator. So let's say he owns half of this that means he owns a business worth $125 million. That's what he puts in his pocket. That's technically what he owns to the government. That's $125 million.
Oh, crap.
Now, to make that same 125, now let's say he sells the business, right? Let's say he grows the business to this point and he sells it to, I don't know, the Mars Company. All right, they make chocolates and candies and stuff like that. It would take him 25 years of making content today and every day till he's about 50 to make the money he can make in 3 years just growing a business he truly cared about. So, and I know not everybody here is really money hungry, but I really want you to understand money hungry people, they're just greedy bastards, okay? We're not focused on them. Money is the thing that makes your dreams possible. It's not just the thing you could do to buy a nice fancy house. Maybe you want to do something nice for your mom. You have ideas in your brain. Completely neglecting the business side because you're only focused on creative, you're putting yourself in a situation where you're eventually not going to be able to afford some of the brilliant ideas you have in your mind. Stream University is a crazy idea. I imagine it costs millions of dollars. He rented an entire campus, bro. He rigged it with his own internet. Like, it's not cheap to do some of these things. And as much as you want to get brands involved to help subsidize the cost, realistically, when you own a business, the upside is all yours. So if you ever heard people talking about equity, this is what they're talking about. They're talking about actually owning something of value. And it almost sounds like this can't be you. On God, it can. There's no reason why this cannot be you. There's genuinely no reason. Don't let anybody make you believe because this number feels like it has a lot of zeros that you're not capable of growing that, right? Running a business is like anything else. It's a skill. Being entertaining, that's a skill. Being funny is a skill. Editing is a skill. This is just something that you're going to have to work on. The more you work on it, the more capable you are, and the more you'll be able to maximize your content and your audience. And congratulations, you guys are streamers, so you have a buff. The average company has to spend 20% of the money they make on marketing. They got to promote it. There are some companies like Tesla that are famous for not doing any marketing. Like, you won't see ads for Tesla ever. Yeah. But then there's the opposite. I see a Kia ad everywhere I go. You walk in the airport, there's a Kia. You watch the NBA game, there's a Kia. There's some companies that have to max spend to get in front of people. There's some that don't have to spend at all. Congratulations. Your business is one where you genuinely might not have to spend at all. You might not have to spend any in marketing because your audience is the marketing. It is.
Much, bro.
And I'm telling you, let me tell you a quick story. When we started Tone, we flew to Minnesota to go to Target office, and we had talked to them. And they were just, first of all, they were enamored by the whole concept of content creators creating a business. We came in there, we had a fire presentation, we prepared everything, and they loved it. And one of the main points that we can point to them and say is, like, we don't have to spend a ton of our money trying to push this product. Because, when they put it up on these shelves, they want to know that people understand what it is. And so just by nature of putting our faces on there, I mean, if you guys ever walked in Target, you've seen like Duke's face on one of the Sense Hotel. But that is a serious buff, and you all have that buff, regardless of how big or small of a streamer you are. As you're growing, you need to be thinking about ways you can utilize this buff to try and maximize some money. This is an example of a couple businesses that more famously have used social media. So look, I'm gonna tell you this. Every business is now doing social media content. Facts or not? They have TikTok accounts. They're trying to seem hip. They're hiring people like newly graduates to try and make hit tweets and stuff like that, like in 2020 or whatever when the chicken sandwich is coming out. Even Red Bull, like, they kind of sell energy drinks. They really just make cool videos, bro. Most of the time you see Red Bull, it's not because you're drinking the energy drink. This is technically their product. But you're realistically, they have encapsulated the idea of using content to promote their brand.
Red Bull gets
right? When I see Red Bull, it's F1. When I see Red Bull, they own like 4 football clubs, bro. And so, like, as much as they do sell energy drinks, because of the power of their content, I mean, that's 76 million views. That's a type of number that most brands will never achieve. You have to really understand content. The thing is, y'all are here, y'all are in the bubble, you understand content. This is your passion, you understand content. You're in a weird position where the people with money want to be like you. If you talk to them, I'm telling you, I was at an NBA event, and I bumped into this guy. He's probably my age. Maybe he's a little bit younger. And he said, Adrian, I love your videos. I want you to introduce you to my mom. His mom was some vice president, something of Coca-Cola.
What?
So it's weird. You don't think the people with money are your audience, but they have kids that watch, 1. And then 2, if they're in the know, they are in the know. That's just factually true. I don't think there's a business that doesn't know who Kai Cenat is. But it doesn't stop at Kai Cenat. I think building relationships, putting yourself in front of people, reaching out, making the effort is all part of that. But again, I really want to employ, like, you could get a Wendy's brand deal, but it's just better to own Wendy's, bro. It's just better. It's just better, and you just have to, bro, like, you're gonna, once you start, you'll be like, damn, I should have started earlier. Once you start, you'll be like, wow, I waited way too long. And you have a little bit of what ifs about it, but today is probably the best day to start thinking about it. And I'm gonna walk you through some of how I'm planning on doing that myself. So a little bit about Tone. I'm gonna explain to you how we started Tone. We started Tone with money. Then I'm gonna explain to you how I'm gonna start a business without money, so you guys get a concept of how that works, okay? So, first of all, it costs a couple $1 million to start. Very expensive to create a product brand new. And then to test the product a bunch, we had to hire a CEO. The process was very arduous. First thing we did, we went to a conference room. We chopped it up. We came up with the ideas of things we were passionate about. You know, I shot out some ideas like maybe an energy drink. Yo, Phantom shot out an idea, maybe some food. People shot out some ideas, right? What we landed on was something personal care, something we all believed in. You want to smell good, look good, be your best. You feel me? And so once we landed on that, okay, what products do we need? Actually, we hired a CEO in this stage too, because he's going to be the one that actually creates the product, stuff like that. You want to do the packaging, so we ended up doing the packaging. We had a bunch of meetings about what it was going to look like, how it was going to feel, what, like the vibe of it, what would the colors be, how do we want it to look when it's on the shelves and stuff like that. And then we tested. The amount of testing we did, I couldn't even explain it to you. We were in rooms, nonstop, smelling things. What's this scent? Is it going to be like that? What's the form factor? How's it going to look? Is it a strong scent? How's it like? And we tested and tested and tested and wrote it down and jotted it down. Not just us, but we got other people to test them too to get different opinions. We actually have some test samples. I think Marcus might be one of the only people that still has it because it was very rare. But this whole process, I'm telling you, it took maybe 8 to 10 months of just testing, hiring, perfecting the process because we didn't want to come up with something mid. Then we did it. We launched it. We launched it direct to consumer, which means we sold it on Tone.shop. And we weren't on retailers at the time, but once retailers heard how well day one went, it didn't take too long before we were in Target. Immediately planned the meeting with Target, and once we had Target, we were exclusive in Target for a little while. We crushed in Target. In fact, they were impressed that we started and it went up. Usually people try the product and then it kind of goes down, but they were impressed how many return customers were pulling up. And the thing is, once you do well in Target, the other retailers actually get that data, and now they want to have conversations. And so while it took a couple $1 million to start, and then we lost money in the first year, we're at the point where we could potentially break even this year, but we're most likely going to make money next year. So it feels a little crazy to think, but we don't see nothing from it. I know the number says potentially $30 million in revenue, but we're buying lots of inventory, we're figuring out packaging. I don't know, the tariffs hit us and then it's like, damn. But luckily, like most of it is made in America, so we didn't have to worry too much about it. But it's like, there's so many factors and all of it is a skill.
Right.
So at a high level for the big content creators, this is essentially how you would start a business if you had the money to afford making one yourself. But I'm gonna give you an example of how we're gonna do it. And that's gonna be with the help of Shopify. So Shopify have been very gracious. So I wasn't trolling. If you guys watched my last class, I reached out to every brand. I said, we want people that's willing to help some of the streamers here today. We're talking business. Are you interested? They say yes. They said, what would the students need the most? What would you guys say you struggled with the most here so far today? Okay, that's perfect. Because we will be giving away 2 TVU backpacks today, courtesy of Shopify.
Yo, wallahi. Let me get another ad, bro. Let me actually get another ad, chat, please. We'd love to see.
Hey, I need to launch a campaign in 2 weeks.
And it's not loading and stuff, like, yeah.
No, I need that. This is rented. This is not mine. This is rented. This is rented. This is rented.
The birthday.
So what we'll do is we'll pick at the end of the class. I don't have a format, but you know what I'm saying, I might let my chat pick. We'll see how it goes, okay? All right, so huge shout out to Shopify. And if you guys don't know how Shopify works, it's basically all back end. If you want to run your business, they literally have everything you need to make it happen, whether you're selling tickets to an event or in this case, starting a racing company, which I'm going to be trying my best to do. So if you're interested in building businesses, I mean, you need a place to do it. And Shopify is, in my opinion, the best place to do it. And that's what I'm doing. So I honestly didn't want to make this talk, I'll be honest with you, but this is just the best way to explain how you can start a business with less money. Because my racing business is not going to start with a couple million. I'm gonna be honest, individually, I can't afford that. I'm spending my money on content right now. I can't spend my money on something that is currently a hobby. But I'm gonna walk you guys through it so you guys can see what it could potentially look like. Okay, so when you have a business, you need some sort of edge, okay? It needs to be something that's better than all the products that's out there. Luckily for me, I have a streamer buff. Most people that get into racing, race cars, it's expensive. Sometimes it could cost up to $1-2 million depending on what you're racing in. Even on the cheapest end, it's like $50,000 a year, like to get in the cheapest possible thing. It is just simply expensive. The only way people support it is by brand support. But here's the thing, I'm not interested in just brand deals. I want to own it. So as much work as it might be, I'd rather own my own racing team.
Right.
So I decided that. I made that decision earlier this year. I love this thing. Like when I get too stressed and I'm streaming, bro, I delete life for a day. I go to the track and I just zen out. You need that zen out. And if you went to Lizzo's class, all about self-love, she was talking a little bit about that as well. And so when we want to talk about growing and building businesses, you want to talk about you want to start brainstorming different ways I can make money. Okay, well, the obvious way is people love racing attire. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's something a way they could use to support the brand, potentially. You know what I'm saying? So this is what it looks like to set up on Shopify. No troll, took an hour to set all this up, which is a little miraculous. But boom, so if people want some, they can have it. Oh, I didn't mention, Tone has also used Shopify to run the whole process. So Tone and Shopify are like this.
Wait, you said it's what?
We're like this. Yeah. They shown us a lot of support, which we appreciate. Okay, boom. I'm gonna walk you through the steps one by one, okay? The first thing you wanna do is the concept and the branding, all right? I've been talking for a little while. I wanna shoot some questions out. Actually, before we do, I want y'all to chop it up with each other. Find someone in the class and talk a little bit about a business that you are interested in creating. I don't care how crazy it sounds. You would wanna go to space if you want to, and that's your business. Come up with something that you're really passionate about. I'll give you guys 2 minutes.
That I'm really passionate about.
What's going on here?
Come talk to people, ask them questions about what they're having a hard time hearing without the mic.
Who, chat?
Yeah, chat.
They can't hear with this?
They can't hear the audience.
Oh, I'll try and repeat the questions. That's on me. All right. Yeah. It's going smoother than I thought.
Game design.
I assume the worst usually. Chat, it's too pseudo right now, or you think it's helpful? I feel like this is stuff big streamers think about and little streamers wait too long to think about. Oh, they actually said the audience is loud. I don't know how true that is. I have no idea. We might let chat pay. Dead ass. Chat, look around. You know what I'm saying? We're going to ask some questions, stuff like that, so you guys can get a good.
I forgot my portable in my room.
Okay.
And then I was supposed to talk to Kai at 1:45.
That's fine. Yeah, you can head out.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No, you don't have to apologize. Shout out Shopify. I said 2 TVU bags and they didn't blink. I almost asked for 3. You have anything in mind?
Yeah, so I was saying, my name is Amber, but my nickname is Coco. So stuff like that.
So,
Stuff
the more we could, yeah. Guys, let's go around. Raise your hand if you guys want to share a business idea. It don't matter how silly or how serious you want to be about it. Just something that you're passionate about.
I really want to create a loungewear brand.
Okay.
Like really comfy and cutesy pajamas, like for women and like families. Yes, there's not a lot.
That's amazing. Yes.
I would want to make a brand called Calico Cup Pants because whenever everyone goes to the bathroom, sometimes you pee a little bit on your pants and you're embarrassed. But if you tell them that, oh no, it's just Calico Cup Pants, it looks like I peed, but it's just a brand, it's a thing. People won't assume that you peed your pants.
But it'll look like you did.
But it'll look like you did, and it's gonna be like Supreme type shit where it's
Supreme.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I'm like tech savvy, and I also really like coffee and caffeine, and I drink a lot of energy drinks too. So I was thinking like maybe like tech meets coffee, like make a nice looking like coffee maker.
Okay. Yeah, that's really unique. I like that. It's just that simple though. You love coffee. It doesn't sound like something that you can make money off of, but why can't you start a coffee business? That's amazing. Okay, so naming and branding, these are all kind of subjective. I will say the main thing when we were talking about creating Tone was we wanted to have it be like some, yo, pass me that Tone. It had to be something you could say. we weren't gonna say, pass me that A&P beauty, you know? We weren't gonna, it has to be something that rolls off the tongue, bro. And so that was, we had no troll. I think we went through 100 names. And it was like a March Madness bracket. And we got it down, got it down, got it down, got it down. That's how seriously you have to take this. We did the same thing when we started A&P. We went to freelancer.com and we put up a post. We said $2,000 for logo. And no troll, like 20,000 people responded. It was, I forgot what it was, but we were there in Discord. It was a 3-day event, narrowing it down, narrowing it down. We were all fried by the end of it. But that's how seriously we took this. Because once you decide this, it's kind of hard to change.
Okay, like actual question. When y'all did stuff with the brand, like I know y'all don't have a lot of time for a lot of things. Did you guys actually do like all of this stuff? Or did you have assistants and people?
So with Tone, we were making all the high-level decisions. So we would meet in a room pretty much like once a month. And it would be like a full day thing where we would essentially talk to, at the time, he's still our CEO. He's our CEO. But the first thing we did was hire him. So we actually sat in it's a very scary call. These CEOs are scary people. They're like sharks, bro. And they demand crazy things. Like, you have no idea how good they are at negotiating. They can convince you you're about to die tomorrow. They're very, very good. But we went with the guy that we trusted the most. There were people that had crazier like resumes and stuff like that. We worked in this business, that business, sold 10 of these businesses. But we just went with the guy we could trust, because at the end of the day, we let you into our business, we're like this now. Right. It's hard to remove someone once you let them into your business. And so if this is the guy we're expecting to help run the show behind the scenes, the guy be somebody we trust, you know? But I'll say when you first start, these people cost a lot, like sometimes $500,000, sometimes $2 million a year. So but if you sell the business, you'll think, wow, they probably deserve more. They went crazy. And then you also kind of want to buy a domain, low key. Like you want to get something that's easy to, you know what I'm saying? And this actually applies to y'all names too. You know what I'm saying? If your name has mad numbers in it, or like, my name is Agent Zero with 2 T's, like it's confusing. Make it as simple as possible. My name is Agent Zero. Oh, okay, 2 zeros? Yeah, I bet. They can switch it up.
So I kind of had a question because my business was like, what I wanted was to create like a safe haven for like kids, so that after school programs or like things across just states or whatever. And when I grew up, I had after school programs, and they kind of saved my life from just going to the streets and just doing stuff that I didn't have any business doing, because I was there for like 5 hours right after school, but it was fun. I wanted to go there.
Or
Agent 47 we had fun with each other. It was bonding experiences, and it was free for me.
Ends from the game. I think Agent, and then I'm like, let me see.
You could.
I can just use like half my last
do I not charge them for it? Because I didn't have money. That's the reason why.
So the best way to do something like that, that's a nonprofit business. That's not a business you should make money from. But what I would always recommend doing is creating an actual business, a profit business, because that's gonna fund your nonprofit. You feel me? So as you know, this kind of feels like a selfish thing to do a little bit, right? You almost want to help people, not sell them things. But how many times have you needed help and the thing you were missing was money? How hard is it to get money? So to be able to get the money is actually gives you access. What you'll find is once you get the money, you probably will be lacking time. But once you have the money, you just hire people to help with the nonprofit. Yeah.
Like y'all boys, numbers, like nah. I was finna add like 14 or like.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 40.